Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. You know who it is. It's your favorite bearded duelist, Mr. Omar. I'm back at it again to complete my series on the Ancient Warriors. Yes, indeed. This deck right here is explosive. This deck right here can combo off. This deck right here with the right pilot can hang with the meta. So I'm going to show you a few more things about the deck. Going a little bit more in depth. I've made some more changes to the deck, and I want to know what you, the viewer, think about these. So come on, take a trip with Mr. Omar. I'm going to show you the product of Ancient Warriors in a different light. So with that being said, come on, take a trip with Mr. Omar. You just might learn something. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start this time with the extra deck. Can you say Hand Trap City? I have 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Droll Lockbird, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Unicorn, and 3 Fenrir. Yes, we have 3 copies of Double Dragon Lords, 1 SP Little Knight, IP Masquerena, Appaloosa, and Access Code Talker. Now, I'm thinking about trading out the Access Code Talker and going with the Mech Knight Afromax, because I can topple over my opponent's monsters, and then in the combination with the IP Masquerena, he can't be affected by effects nor be destroyed. So hey, it's definitely something I might look into as far as a future upgrade. You have the 2 copies of Totally Awesome, 1 Gaga Cowboy, Bahamut Shark, Brotherhood of the Tiger King, X-Town Knight, and 101. And the reason I love 101 because a lot of times in certain matchups, I'll go into 2 rank 4s and they'll be able to take the card and use their material. It's very beneficial. So with that being said, I kind of really enjoy using this spicy tech right here. Now we're going to start with our 3 ofs. 3 Virtuous, 3 Masterful. The new additions. A lot of people sleep on Deceptive John Wynn, but he's a recycler. All you have to do is destroy a card on the field, and if you have an Ancient Warrior in the graveyard or Ancient Warrior card in the graveyard, you can add to your hand. Also using Lujing. Lujing is our popper. In this meta, we have to get rid of pesky back row cards. Now, I wasn't playing with these cards for a while, but I was doing my play testing, and I figured out that in combination, you need to be able to recycle your Ancient Warrior spell and traps, and you need to be able to have destruction power to knock off pesky back row because of field cards, continuous spell and traps. So adding these 2 was definitely a plus. And you already know, Loyal Gong Yu, Savage Do Ying, Rebellion Lu Fang, the 1 ofs, Fearsome, Zhang Di, Zujikong. And the most important part of this deck is the spells. This is the engine. This is the core. This is what I'm going to make or break the deck. So 3 visits, Deception and Betrayal, because we can do our additional normal summon by paying life points equal to the monster that's a level 6 or higher, or level 4. And we can change the attribute of Ancient Warrior, so it helps us go into our double Dragon Lords. 2 East by Winds. I really enjoy this card because recycling with Jawin, I can send to the graveyard, direct my attack, my opponent can't activate nothing, and then just pop their monsters because of the graveyard effect of East by South Winds. 1 copy of Borrowed Arrows, and I want to add in the comments, when you're using Borrowed Arrows and you have 2 different attributes, this card goes to the graveyard, you can bring out another Ancient Warrior card. Well, let me be specific, Ancient Warrior spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So it's definitely beneficial. Now I had to add some destruction because a lot of spamming in the board. So we have 1 copy of Lightning Storm, 1 copy of Regeki, and 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster to get rid of the pesky back row. We'll float on down. The Synergizers. We got 2 copies of Pot of Prosperity. I chose this over Extravagance. My reasons why, because I can dig through and go to my deck. Ain't nothing worse than pulling a dead card. But it give me the option to actually dig and get to the cards. And because we in Hand Trap City, you have to have the Triple Tactics talent. I also have the Fire Formation Tinky, but I am thinking about bumping it up to at least 3 copies. It depends though. And this is my trap lineup. I have 1 Infinite Impermanence, which I may bump it up to 2 and use 1 Evenly Match. In my previous duels that I went to the tournament, I did get kind of spammed real hard, and Evenly Match was a great card when I was running 3, but it also hindered me because it's best when you control no cards. So with that being said, I only have 3, so I cut it down, traps down, way down to 3 copies. Okay, now with that being said, I definitely want to bring that to your attention about the Ancient Warriors. The deck is very explosive. I'm using key components. I'm going more in depth with the cards instead of just throwing you a blueprint of a deck profile. We're going to go in and dissect the deck, see what really works. The pros and cons about the Ancient Warriors is their effects. Certain effects can't trigger because of the Ancient Warriors effect. That's what I found out about Rebellion Lu Fang, which I really enjoyed the card. I hate Konami switched it up because during first or second main phase, you should be able to pop. But I did my research and I found out if you do have 2 copies and you use 1 copy, you can pop monster on board. And then when you go to main phase 2, if your opponent has another monster, you can use the second copy and pop because it's not a once per turn effect with the Rebellion Lu Fang. But also, you have to be very, very careful with Rebellion Lu Fang because if your opponent controls a monster higher than yours, you have to give the Rebellion Lu Fang to your opponent. But I found a way to get around that card, and it's just using Master for Sun Mu. With Master for Sun Mu, when Rebellion Lu Fang's effects switch and you give it to your opponent during the end phase, and you haven't used Master for Sun Mu's effect to bounce, Master for Sun Mu's effect triggers because of the Ancient Warrior effect, so you can send it right back to your hand. So keep that in mind when you pilot this deck. This deck is not for the faint of heart. There are more powerful decks out there, but I'm going to show you if you're a good pilot, you can use this deck. This deck is very, very budget friendly. I practically built the deck with probably like about $20, $25. Now I have to add the SP Little Knight, which real pricey. Also the Triple Tactics. Thank goodness we had a reprint for that. And also I'm thinking of some other texts. Now, I'm going to get another copy of Forbidden Droplets. Now, what I like about Forbidden Droplets, you can send cards from the hand or the field. Now, this is very beneficial, especially when I was running my play testing. I noticed that with Forbidden Droplets, if you send 3 visits and 3 visits go to the graveyard and you negate your opponent's attack and cut them in half, 3 visits activate. Also, another thing with Do-Ying. Do-Ying is very beneficial. With Do-Ying and Master for Sun Mu and Rebellion, you can constantly keep drawing, keep drawing, keep drawing. Pop, banish, draw. Very good draw speed. The deck is really good. If you can get the 3 summons, and then on top of that, you don't have to really mass summon with the deck. What I've learned about this deck, you can bring out 4 good cards and you can play around the bureau. The biggest weakness that I see with the deck that really hurts is Imperm and Ash and Draw. But I found ways to get around it. I always use Master for Sun Mu's effect, or what I'll do, I'll summon Master for Sun Mu, try to use this effect to bait out your Ash or your Draw. And then I use Deception and Betrayal to do an additional number summon with the 3 visits and still search my cards. So it's ways to play around with the deck. Like I said, I just wanted to bring this to your attention because a lot of times you will see me just do a combo. But I want to show you guys in deep discussion what this deck is capable of. And I understand with this deck is power in numbers. If you can at least get 2 to 3 ancient warriors on board, it's very hard for your opponent to really disrupt you. Unless, and I put it like this, these are the pros and cons of the deck. If you get hand trapped, evenly matched, or if they have some kind of negation. But 9 times out of 10, you want your opponent to waste the resources. The less cards they have in their hand, the better for you to OTK, because this deck is not meant to go 5 to 6 to 7 different turns. It's meant for you to OTK. Some of your board completely obliterate your opponent and then be done. So that's the kind of mode that I'm going in with this in-depth discussion about the Ancient Warriors. Now, with that being said, this is going to conclude my video. I definitely want you guys to like, share, give Mr. Omar a comment. Let me know how you feel. Let me know, is there any way that I can improve the deck? Because I'm always willing to learn and upgrade with my fans. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. Have a blessed day. And once again, you know who it is, your favorite guy, Mr. Omar. Have a great night. Peace.